So Ollie, it's Ladbrokes Trophy weekend, one of the big weekends in the jump racing calendar. Do you know, before you were even born, this was the biggest day in my calendar. My local track, I used to man the fire alarm and I was the assistant plumber on Hennessy Day.
I need a plumber at the moment.
Well, I would have been very useful. John was my boss, he'd have been better. But I remember Gopher, the late 80s, and I remember Chatham, and yeah, the fire alarm didn't go off. So I've got good memories of those days. Your favourite Hennessy Ladbrokes Trophy winner?
The thing is about the race is that it can have top weights winning it, like Denman, obviously. I watched that back the other day.
Amazing.
Under Ruby, and it kind of, you can't quite believe it every time you watch it. It's just so good. And you know, career-defining performances, I think, for many horses in the Hennessy, now the Ladbrokes Trophy. And then you get horses from out the handicap sort of coming and winning. There was that horse, the name escapes me at the moment.
I thought it was going to be the name of the horse. The name
sorry, the rash account. No, you know, a horse from out the handicap that I think gave Jadami £2, but was £20 out the handicap and won.
Sibton Abbey?
That's the one, yeah.
40 to 1, crikey, Moses.
So it's a race that throws up some great winners. Suny Bay is a horse that growing up...
Is that your favourite?
Yeah, well, he was a horse that growing up I really connected with. Runner-up in the Grand National, obviously won the Hennessy, and I just loved him. He was a grey. He was a horse that, when I was a child watching him, I sort of really connected with. Him and Barton Bank were probably the two horses growing up that I loved.
Do you know what?
Suny Bay for me, yeah.
Suny Bay for you. My favourites, Barton Bank favourite. I love Mr. Frisk, obviously. Party Politics, Jadami. There's so many, all placed in Hennessy's. Winner, I think I'd go for another grey, you know.
Who's that?
Again, a bit before your time, I'm afraid. No, it wouldn't be before.
It was not my...
Teeton Mill?
No.
Do you remember Teeton Mill?
Yeah, I do. King
Grey,
George winner, yeah.
Venetia Williams.
Yeah.
And there's a moment in the race, and I love it. I love a great celebration. Watch Norman Williamson on the run-in at Newbury. It was absolutely brilliant. But there's a moment, and he's up against David Johnson's horse, U-Deep, who Timmy Murphy was riding. And the whole country seemed to be on Teeton Mill. A massive gamble for the race, talked up and so on. And he came there 2 or 3 out, I think it was, Stormin Norman, with a double handfill. Timmy Murphy on U-Deep, going for everything. It was huge. And there was a moment at Haydock last weekend when Rachel Blackmore took a pull, and the whole of Haydock took a gasp, an intake of breath. And it was like that at Newbury that day, because Norman came there and he won a mile, and Teeton Mill was such a good horse. Really, but there are so many great memories. I think that would be my favourite. On Saturday, live with us on ITV on the main channel for the big one this year. How do you see it going? It's the Irish again, isn't it?
Yeah, every time I look at the race, I just keep thinking that the two at the top, well, Eclat de Rire I think is very interesting for Henry de Bromhead.
Because he needs a staying chase. Yeah.
Just like to see him back in form, you know. But actually, Cheveley Park, who he had the big winner for the other day at Applutard, they've got the favourite currently with Willie, and those two look the obvious starting points. And then you look at what Ireland did against England or Britain last year, and then you look at Inrillo and you think, can he sort of compete with them? I find it hard to see that. But if there is to be a British yard that can step up, perhaps given how he started the season, Joe Tizard, he's got a few in there, Copperhead, Mr. Malarkey, Fiddler on the Roof, perhaps those are 3 horses that you can almost put a line through last year and make a case for them being quite well handicapped horses now, again, and therefore they'll probably come into the equation. But it is really boring. I find it very hard to see past those two, given what Willie Mullins has done with Total Recall in the race recently. So it's going to be a good race.
Sir Anthony was behind Enrillo in one of those Newmarket Gallops. I think he thinks Enrillo's got a huge chance, but I think you're right. This time last year I was saying to Dave Ord, on the ropes is my bet for the Cheltenham Festival when he was second to Monkfish in a novice chase, and I think he's very good on the ropes. He's probably very well handicapped as well. At Copperhead, shall I go over the cliff one more time with Copperhead?
I've tried him over hurdles. I've backed him basically every time, thinking he's just way better.
So if you had to put now to one of the Irish,
Eclat de Rire probably.
Okay, I'll take you on with on the ropes.
Okay,
we'll both have one at a big price. I'll go Copperhead.
I might give Clothcap another chance.
Yeah, got his ground, isn't he?
And obviously, you know, excellent in it last year. I wouldn't write him off on the back of that run. So he'd probably be one that I'd expect to improve for his comeback.
Ladbrokes Trophy, live on Saturday afternoon. Loads of content on Sporting Life ahead of the big race.